at least have one or two mentors that are actually not like you and they do not share your personality type because they give you a different perspective. Another big deal is to get as many mentors as possible from different backgrounds, from different spaces. Like I said, a lot of my mentors do not look like me. Whatever the gambit is because as many people that you have mentoring you and pouring into you, they can give you different perspectives, but also they can teach you how to interact with groups of people that you're not necessarily used to working with or interacting with.
What's up? Welcome to the You Know's Best Pod. I appreciate your support. In return, I hope I provide you with some worthwhile gems that benefit you on your journey. At the very least, I hope I put a smile on your face. If not, hopefully you share this with someone that does benefit. And I got you next time. Again, thanks for joining today, and let's get this thing going.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Hube Know's Best Pod. I'm going to give you the truth, the whole truth, as best as I can. So help me God. Today's a freestyle episode. Not really. We're going to talk about mentorship and the importance of mentorship. Whether it be in business or if it is just in your normal everyday life. We're going to dive into that, talking about some do's and some don'ts that I feel are important when it comes to getting a mentor, and then like how it's benefited me, how it can benefit you long term, right? Not everybody is comfortable with getting a mentor. Today, we're just going to talk about that and why it's critically important, especially in today's economy, to have mentors and have people that are even getting to the point that you have a sponsor, executive sponsor or something like that, because you want people that are advocating for you and bringing your name up when you're not around. We'll walk through my journey of what that looked like and how not having mentorship and not having those people in place when I first started in my corporate career, how that had a negative impact on not only me, but opportunities that I wasn't able to obtain. So mentorship can look like many different things. I think mentorship is critical. I think some key things to think about when you're looking for a mentor is you want to have a mentor is in a position or has had a career path. If you're looking for a mentor at work or even outside of work, someone that is doing things that you aspire to be, right? So I'm in corporate sales. So a lot of my mentors are leaders that are in like senior leadership. One of my largest mentors or my best mentors actually just left my company and is now senior VP of Americas at another tech company. But she poured into me a lot. She helped me a lot. And she didn't look like me, but I wanted to be in her role one day. And so luckily I was able to get her as a mentor. And we've actually built somewhat of a friendship outside of work. But also you might want to get someone that is in your role that is excelling, or maybe a role above you or a role like two roles above you. If you're an entry level seller. So when I started at LinkedIn, my mentors were people that were just giving you some lingo. In my role, I am what currently considered a level 3, IC3. When I came in, I was an IC1. That was in 2019. So I picked a lot of mentors that were IC2s, IC3s, some IC4s that were either recommended to me or I liked their personality, right? So I think mentorship is really important to have people that are like-minded for two reasons. One, you want a mentor that you're going to naturally get along with because it's easier to take feedback from that person. It's easier to see yourself in that person, but also that person can let you know you're more likely to take their feedback. And especially if that person is very similar to you in personality, because they can tell you based on their, trials and tribulations, their successes and their failures, where you should or where you shouldn't lean into certain aspects of your personality or how to make that more palatable for those that may not have the same personality. I'm a very straightforward, straight shooter, direct person. That doesn't always work in corporate settings, especially. Look, I'm Black. And I'm tattooed and I'm tall and I have long hair. So in the past, that was looked at as I was being militant or aggressive or abrasive. In reality, I was coming from a constructive, helpful place, but understanding, everybody that doesn't look like me isn't going to receive me in the same way, especially if they don't know me and I haven't built that rapport. So it's important to get a mentor that not necessarily looks like you, because a lot of my mentors look nothing like me, but we do have similar personalities. They have helped me see blind spots that I did not. necessarily see initially because, you know, you don't know your own blind spots. Another thing is to at least have one or two mentors that are actually not like you and they do not share your personality type, because they give you a different perspective, right? Now, I'm not saying that people that are similar to you can't give you a different perspective and be objective, because I pride myself in being objective, but they are going to look at things differently than you may, which can help you navigate things or understand why someone else might receive something a different way or why they might not understand where you're coming from when you approach things. Mentorship, get as many mentors as possible. Have some that are like you, some that are not like you. And have those people that are excelling in their roles and are in leadership that can share you their journey and tell you their journey of how they got to where they are and how to navigate internally. Now, if you're getting a mentor outside of your organization, then you might have a mentor around like homeowner, like building wealth or becoming a home owner or investing in property or stocks or whatever it may be. So people have mentors for investment related things, for like spiritual things. But I think it still stands that, you know, it's easier to be mentored or be coached by someone that is similar to you, or at least approaches things in a way that's similar to how you approach things, because it's easier for you to kind of understand or follow what they're asking you. Another big deal is to get as many mentors as possible from different backgrounds, from different spaces. Like a lot of my mentors do not look like me. I have mentors that are white males, that are, you know, Asian males. I have mentors that are white women, Black women, Latino women. Like whatever the gambit is because as many people that you have mentoring you and pouring into you, they can give you different perspectives, but also they can also just teach you how to interact with groups of people that you're not necessarily used to working with or interacting with. I'm a Black man. I grew up in Southern Georgia in a Black neighborhood. Yes, I went to white schools, but most of my life I dealt with Black people. Even in my everyday life now, I deal with Black people for the most part outside of work. I'm in Black spaces. I went to HBCU. So me having to interact with adult people that are non-Black on a regular basis after college was somewhat of a challenge because I didn't really have to. I had gotten so used to like navigating in a space of people that look like me that I didn't really understand that how I approach things could be received the same way. Now, some of that is microaggression, some of that is racism or prejudice, because I was saying the same things that other people were saying. It was just received differently because of, you know, my skin color or how I looked. But it helps give you a perspective. It helps teach you customs and cultures because different people come from different cultures and different things are received a different way. Now, there are people that don't look like me that say don't really change who you are. And I agree with that. And if people don't like how you approach things, tell them get out your way. That was from one of my mentors, Dylan Curtis. When I came into LinkedIn, I had a very aggressive, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I want to be. This is what I want to do to get to the next stage of my career. And some of that and my how do I say this? My confidence in myself rubbed some of my peers the wrong way because they felt as though I was just being cocky for someone that hadn't done anything quite yet. But Dylan, white man from completely different background as me, we both were athletes. We're both fairly, tall and direct people, both Christian males. But outside of that was that's the end of our commonalities. That's also being parents now. But he was like, work appropriate thing to do is to be mindful of that. But he was like, from me to you, if people don't like that you're confident in yourself and you want to get things accomplished, tell them to get out your way. And him being my senior manager, so that means he is not my direct manager, he's my manager's manager. For me to hear that from someone who was actually my first mentor in the organization, that gave me so much confidence and so much energy that I just started crushing it, because he was someone that I used as a sounding board because we met monthly when I first started at the company. LinkedIn was my first quota carrying sales job. And I had some imposter syndrome because I got the job, and Dylan was vital to my success at LinkedIn. And, to hear that from my senior manager that is a white man that has not that many things in common with me really helped me move forward. So having mentors that are like you, mentors that are not. having mentors that are your peers, but also having mentors that are in leadership. It's very important outside of your life and your everyday life that's not work related. Having mentors that are similar to you, that are doing things that you want to do, that you feel like you have a connection with. Now, don'ts. Like I said, you want to have as many mentors as possible, but you want to make sure that you are careful about being overly mentored. What do I mean by that? You don't want to take on too many mentors that you can't really be productive, right? You're hearing too many voices, right? So it sounds like contradictory to what I'm saying, but it's not a contradiction. You want as many mentors that are going to be valuable to you, but you don't want to have so many mentors that you get paralysis analysis or something like that, analysis paralysis, because you are hearing so many different voices that you start confusing yourself or they start contradicting each other and it kind of leads you to nowhere. Also, you don't want to be mentored by people that can't look inward of themselves, right? So I think a lot of times it's important to have a mentor that understands that what works for them may not work for you, right? And I used to tell people that all the time when I would mentor them, when they would come into any organizations, like, hey, this is how I do things. My personality is this. This works for me, but it may not work for you. So it's very important to have a mentor to, just watch who you're being mentored by, because, they may be not the outward appearance of who they are and what they're accomplishing may not necessarily line up with what's actually going on. So just be careful in that. And then when you're mentoring or getting mentored, you want to spread out how often you're meeting with these people. You don't want to meet with them every day, every week. You want to be able to come back with some actionable things, some things that you need to work on. I think a lot of times people get mentors and they want to meet with them every day or every week. And in all honesty, that becomes counterproductive because there's not a lot for you to work on in that short amount of time. So you might want to take 2-3 weeks, a month off from meeting with your mentor so that you can, actually come back with like, hey, these are some things that I've been struggling with or things that I have questions about, because, then you end up wasting time. That's really important in mentorship, is understanding time management, like managing your time with your mentor, right? And if you have a lot of mentors, it gives you time to like space out the time that you're meeting with the people that you're meeting with. So that's in a nutshell why you should how you should approach getting mentors. Now, why is it important to have a mentor? They can help you navigate things, answer questions for you that you can't answer for yourself, or may not be, something that you can read in a book or Google, or, because a lot of times practical experience or just being in something, people have more valuable or actionable suggestions for you than, something you're going to read in a book, right? So, but mentorship actually is vitally important because it also helps you become a better person. It helps you have a soundboard of someone that can, if I'm thinking about doing something, a lot of times I would ask my mentors, like, hey, what do you think about this? I would ping them at work or via text, like, hey, I want to respond this way to this email. A lot of times they talk me off the ledge because they were like, nah, maybe take this out of the email or whatever. Not because the email, what I was saying was wrong, but the tone of that email message kept elicited a response that would not have been positive for me, or just wouldn't have made the situation move forward in a productive manner. So I think it's very important to have those people that are sounding boards for you when you're having thoughts or having conflict, or you're having things that you're dealing with or trying to navigate within your company or just in your everyday life. Because people that mentor you at work can also just be mentors for you in your normal everyday life, right? Having mentors also is important because they will, and this is where it kind of starts transitioning into what sponsorship becomes. In my company, we call it executive sponsor. I think they say that in a lot of organizations. The difference between a mentor is someone that helps you get into the room. It helps you navigate that. A sponsor is someone that speaks of you in those rooms before you're ever there, right? And that's critical, is to have some of your mentors transition into sponsors where they are advocating for you. They are saying, oh, give Hubert this opportunity to do this. Like a lot of opportunities that I've had at my current company was because someone was saying Hubert wants to do that. So maybe give Hubert the opportunity to do that, or like serve in this leadership position or host this fireside chat. And I think it's very important that you let your mentor know what your goals are and what you want to do, because they can't speak for you on your behalf or know what to tell people that you want to do if you've never actually told them or set out your goals or been open with them about your aspirations. And if your mentor your sponsor get an opportunity for you to do something, it is very important that you understand that you're representing yourself, but you're also representing that person. So that person is using their own personal equity to put you in a position to succeed and to put you in the front of people that can assist you in your goals. So it's very important to put a lot of energy. A lot of times I navigate things at work in a way I think about it before I act, because I know that there are people that are associated with me because they are my mentors, or they're people that have advocated for me in the past. And it kind of makes me make sure that I'm, also representing them well. And I expect the same from my mentees, like, hey, I'm going to advocate for you and I'm going to stick up for you, but also, don't make me look crazy for doing so. Like, so put your best foot forward at all times. It's just like in a relationship or with your kids, with your family, you are representative of that person and they're representative of you. So understand that. And back to the earlier point is understanding your mentor's reputation, right? A lot of times people have mentors, people that they align with, and they don't understand that person has a negative reputation within an organization or in the community that can hinder you because you are associated with that person, right? So just like you're a reflection of your mentor and representative of your mentor, they are a reflection of you too. So who you align yourself with is vital. It's very important to understand who you are aligning yourself with. So yeah, one last thing about mentorship and maybe sponsorship is you should try to mentor people and, serve as a sponsor for them if you can, if you're in a position to, for the simple fact that it's paying it forward, and you never know who you mentor and where they're going to be and when you might need them, right? I think a lot of times people look for mentors and they want to take, but they're not giving. You don't know who knows who, right? And I'm not saying do it with the thought of being self-serving, but if you're mentoring people and paying it forward, it allows for you to build relationships up and down. And so when people come and ask about you, whether it's up, down, lateral, you have a solid reputation and a good name as someone that is helpful, someone that is able to work with a lot of different people, whether they be in leadership, you're able to manage up, down, and to the side. Especially for people that want to be in leadership, that is like critical. I learned that, right? Because in my previous company, I won't say the name of my previous company. If we were connected on LinkedIn or you follow me on LinkedIn, you can see what that company name is. But when I came into the organization, I was very to myself. I didn't have a lot of mentors. I was cool with who I was cool with. I didn't seek mentorship. Now I was friends with certain leaders, but like they weren't my mentors. They weren't people that I would go ask questions of or try to get them to advocate for me. I didn't really understand the importance of mentorship in my 20s. And so without that mentorship and without that guidance, I made some missteps in my career that kind of followed me in that organization because I had built a reputation of someone that was abrasive and aggressive and not understanding time and place to say certain things. And I was looked at kind of I want to say like a loose cannon. And that was the furthest thing from the truth. It was really a situation of, I was a very passionate person that I'm highly ethical. I believe ethics are critical in business because how you treat people and how you do things is a reflection of you, but also there's karma. I do believe in business karma, but I also believe in just making sense. I don't believe in doing things that do not make sense. And so a lot of times I would speak up on things that did not make a lot of sense, neither here nor there, in settings that weren't conducive. Now, if I had a mentor, I would understand that like, hey, not time and place to say that. Or that person could at least go into the room with leaders and be like, hey, I know Hubert, this is why he said that. This is coming from actually a constructive place. We should probably listen to him because he's someone that has shown me over time that he sees the bigger picture. Well, I didn't have that. And so people are then going to create their own narratives, create their own thoughts about you, because when you don't have anyone advocating for you or defending you. But two, I wasn't advocating or defending myself because I felt like my productivity and my work spoke for itself. So I didn't need to like tell people like why I said those things in those settings. I thought they would understand that, hey, this doesn't make sense from a business perspective. This doesn't align with our company values, allegedly. And I'm just trying to think of ways that we can do this that make sense for the business. Now, was I right about all those things? No. I mean, nobody's infallible. Was I right about some of those things? Yes. And it was to the detriment of the company or my peers that those things moved forward, right? That being said, mentorship, if you are a new person to the workforce or someone that's already been working for an extended period of time and you don't have mentors, get a mentor. Start off with one, work your way up. And then maybe you can ask your mentor for referrals or other people that you think would be good mentors for you. If someone is working with you or doing something with you and you feel like you align with them and you get along with them and you think that they are someone that has done very well for themselves and they're someone that's, on the right trajectory, ask them to be your mentor. The worst they can say is like, no, but I do know someone. They might say, I do know someone that can mentor you that I feel would be a great fit for you. So with that said, mentorship and sponsorship is important in corporate America in your everyday life. And so make sure you take advantage of having people to help coach you and help you navigate your work life and your everyday life. As always, I wish y'all peace, patience, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, discernment, health, strength, resolve. So be easy or don't, but every choice has a consequence and every action has a reaction. Peace out.